You are watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're talking about Julius Randle, the Knicks versus the Cavs, and can the Knicks get it done with Obi Toppin if Julius Randle has to miss any time? Some good news today, though. Julius was a limited participant at practice on Tuesday. Tom Thibodeau was really selective about the words he used when talking about Randle, but this is what Ian Begley of SNY had to say. He said, Tom Thibodeau said Julius Randle has made good, steady progress of late. Randle sprained his left ankle last month. Thibodeau wouldn't say if Randle will be ready for game one on Saturday, but based on what Thibodeau said, it sounds like Randle is trending in the right direction. And of course, Tom Thibodeau is going to say stuff like he's getting better, he's getting healthier, he's trending in the right direction. But I do think it is interesting that Thibodeau wouldn't say if Randle will be ready for game one. Is that because he doesn't know if he'll be ready for game one? Is that because he wants to use it as a competitive advantage when talking about the Cavs and the New York Knicks? So definitely something to monitor with this. Then I thought what Fred Katz of The Athletic said was pretty important as well. He said Julius Randle did some of practice today. That's why he called him a limited participant. He said no contact. Thibodeau said he's doing some running, shooting, scripting, that sort of thing. I don't know what scripting is in this type of sense. I would take it under the estimation that means some sort of walkthrough against the Cleveland Cavaliers, walking through some sets on defense, walking through some sets on offense, some inbounds plays as well. But the word scripting is very, very interesting as well. And then Mike Breen, as I would like to call him, the Bang God. Yes, want to use the correct term there. The Bang God, Mike Breen, one of my idols, calls games for MSG as well as ESPN. I think he may have let a little bit slip on his podcast. He said, as for Randle, he's going to play in the series. I don't think the Knicks are too happy about him saying that. He said, whether or not he's ready for game one, that's to be determined. He's done nothing but therapy on the ankle. So there's a good chance he's going to play, if not game one, at least very early in this series. So he pretty much tells you that he may not play game one. And Randle missing game one would suck for so many reasons for the New York Knicks. Obviously, number one, you could argue he's the best player on this team. I would roll with Jalen Brunson, but I can concede that Randle is the second most important player on this team, and the Knicks would not be here where they are right now, the fifth seed with 47 wins without Julius Randle in a comeback season that I believe should have some All-NBA considerations. Having Randle miss any games this series would be huge for the Knicks in the sense of it would not be good news. It would be big for the Cavs. It would, swing, I think, a lot of votes in that way. If you don't play game one, I don't think you're playing game two either because it's probably just one game, maybe 2 days in between. Maybe you do play game two, but if you don't play game one, I think the Knicks might be in a little bit of trouble because you don't want to go back to MSG potentially down 0-2. I want to poll the audience right now. How many of you guys are ankle specialists? Maybe you are. Maybe you're an ankle doctor. Let me know. Will Julius Randle play game one? Will he be out there Saturday? Knicks, Cavs. What do you think? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. I want to hear from all of you down in the comment section. I also want to let you know if and when we get a Julius Randle update, whether he's scheduled to play, whether he's going to miss some time, hopefully he misses no time, and we get that update. He's going to be ready to rock and roll come game one. We will make a video here on the channel. We put out videos every day on the latest Knicks news and rumors. When we get an update, we'll make a video. Remember, we're also going live for every single game, watch party style, for the NBA playoffs for the Knicks. We did over 60 games during the regular season. I can't wait to do the playoff games. Let's go Knicks. The reason I think Randle playing in game one or game two, or at least getting his feet wet before you get back to Madison Square Garden is the series has to be 1-1 going back to MSG. Because if let's say Julius Randle doesn't play game one, he doesn't play game 2. And the worst case scenario happens that you go back to MSG down 0-2, Cavs on top 2-0. And then Randle plays game 3, then you've played 2 games without him. Then he's been out of the lineup for 3 weeks. Then the rust will start to set in and the pressure will start to mount. The crowd at MSG will be antsy. They will be anxious. They will be nervous. And if Randle messes up early on, the Boo Birds will ensue. That is why coming back to Madison Square Garden, 1-1 after game 1 and game 2 in Cleveland is so important. You don't want Randle's first game back in the series to be pretty much a must-win basketball game. At the end of the day, the timing of all of this is absolutely brutal. You could not have drawn it up worse for the New York Knicks. Randle was ascending. He was getting out of that funk with the teammates that he had. And then he has a rolled ankle. And now it sounds like he may not even play game 1. No official ruling, but from reading the tea leaves, if you're not even taking on contact on Tuesday, how are you going to play Saturday? Maybe he goes to the LeBron James foot doctor, whatever weird term LeBron James used, and he gets fixed, but the timing of this has been absolutely brutal. We'll talk more about Randle, and we'll talk about Obi Toppin coming up here in a second, but I got to give a huge shout-out to today's sponsor, and that is Fume. Go to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. Are you tired of struggling with bad habits? Because cold turkey might be great for sandwiches, but there's a better way to break free from those pesky habits, and it doesn't involve weird mind voodoo or other bizarre tactics. Introducing our sponsor, Fume, an innovative award-nominated device that helps you kick bad habits to the curb by focusing on the good parts. Scan the QR code on screen to learn more. Fume is all about embracing the natural. It's not electronic, and instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Best of all, it's free of harmful chemicals and packed with delicious all-natural flavors. The adjustable airflow dial and movable parts and magnets make it perfect for fidgeting, which can help alleviate stress and anxiety while you break your habit. I wasn't sure what to expect at first, but I was pleasantly surprised by the taste, feel, and look of Fume. Start your journey towards a healthier lifestyle with the Journey Pack from Fume. Visit tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off when you purchase the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports. And don't forget to use code chatsports for 10% off your order. Excuse me. The link is down in the comments and description, or you can scan the QR code right here to unlock the offer. One more time, tryfume.com/chatsports. And remember, use the code chatsports for 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That link is clickable in the comments and description of today's video. When you look at what Randle did for the New York Knicks this season, he was really the guy that was driving the boat. Whether you want to say it was him or Brunson, they both did their fair share. And they're both MVPs of this team. You can call them co-captains, you can call them captains. But when you average 25, 10, and 4, and you shoot 46% from the deck and 34% from 3, that is really good makeup for all of the late game turnovers and the inefficient closing the games Randle's has had. But Randle's game is so much dependent on, I would say, comfortability and stringing together good game after good game. And I'm worried about rust right now for Julius Randle. He hasn't played in the month of April. The game's going to be April 15th. He's going to go 15 days pretty much between the last time he touched a basketball in a meaningful game. I'm worried about rust. And the reason I'm worried about rust, and I'm worried about this injury, and I'm worried about if Randle's only going to be 70, 75, 80, 85, 95% is because what makes Randle great is so dependent on that ankle. What makes Randle great? Tough shot-making ability. To get to your spots on the court, you have to have good push-off. You have to have balance. You have to have your center of gravity. And with a bum ankle, that makes it tough. What also makes Randle great? That lightning quick first step. He gets in that triple threat. He does that jab step that I freaking hate. But he lulls the defense to sleep, and he beats them to the cup with a lightning first step. He's a beast on the glass. You can't jump your highest, and you can't box out your best when you got one ankle. Also, his ability to absorb contact is something that makes him great. He's able to get to the cup, take a little bump in the shoulder, finish with the left hand, take a jab step back and push off a little bit and absorb that contact. It's harder to do that with just one bad ankle or one good ankle and the good footwork. All the moves that he has. That's so much harder to do when your balance isn't where you want him to be. So this ankle injury really, really affects Randle. And I wrap all that to say the Knicks need Julius Randle to win. If you watch the show, you know I'm not the biggest fan of Julius Randle. But I think I'm a pretty smart guy when it comes to the Knicks. Some say I know ball. I'm not going to say that about myself, but I do know ball. Randle is key to the Knicks. And the Knicks, they need Randle to win. I like Obi, and we'll talk about Obi in a second. But it is going to be hard to string together 4 wins in 2 weeks against the Cleveland Cavaliers without Julius Randle, who's probably going to be an all-NBA player this year. So I want to ask this question before we shift over to Obi Toppin. What is your confidence in the Knicks without Julius Randle? What is it? Scale it from 1 to 100. 1 being, I'm not confident at all. If Randle doesn't play, we're getting swept and we're going to have to make some changes in the offseason. 100 being, you're not worried, you're sitting back, you're smoking that Cavs pack, and the Knicks are going to win in 4 without Randle. Scale it from 1 to 10, your confidence in the Knicks without Julius Randle. The number one question you have to be asking yourself at this point is, can Obi Toppin get the job done without Julius Randle? Because if Randle doesn't start or play, Obi is going to be forced to play. And I thought at one point, if Randle could come back healthy, that Obi might be on the outside looking in of this playoff rotation. But what he's been able to do since Randle has gone out has kind of eliminated those thoughts. When you look at what Obi has done in the 5 games he has started this year, he's averaging 21.8 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and he has been so efficient. 58% from the deck, 44% from 3, and he's doing that on good volume as well. He's attempted 36 threes in those 5 games, so almost 7+ threes per night, and he's making almost 3+ threes in those games. It's a lot of volume there. And you need Obi to continue to make shots from downtown, because when you look at the numbers, the Knicks are 15-7 this season when Obi Toppin makes 2+ threes in a game this year. They're also 9-3 when Obi makes 3+ threes. So when Obi makes his shots, the Knicks are one of the best teams in the National Basketball Association. And if he is going to play and be your starter, the reason that it is so critical that he makes shots is because of that Mobley versus Obi matchup. If Obi is hitting his shots, that's going to pull out Evan Mobley of the paint. He has to be more of a perimeter defender against a guy like Obi Toppin. Mobley has to be less worried about rebound, and he has to be more worried about Obi going the other way. On the flip side, Obi having to guard Mobley and keep Mobley off the glass is something I am absolutely concerned about. I think it's a very interesting matchup. Mobley, arguably the defensive player of the year, but guarding a guy like Obi isn't really Mobley's strength. I would say from the free throw line and down in the paint is where Mobley excels, where Obi is pretty much a guy that just jacks threes and gets fast break opportunities. So my eyes will be glued to that matchup, and I think that could be really the X Factor matchup for this series. Let's get the good vibes going, though, around Obi Toppin, because there ain't no stopping Obi Toppin. Am I going to be mad at him at some point? Yes, because he's going to miss a rebound. He's going to leak out when he's not supposed to. He's going to get beat on a backdoor cut. But I believe in him, and I'm believing in him because I have to believe in him. Show him some one. Show him some love. Type those ones, his jersey number, down in the comment section. I want to see the whole comments littered with 1. Let's have our guys back. Type his jersey number 1 for Obi Toppin. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's video. Like I said, if we get another Julius Randle update, we'll do a video here on the channel. If you made it this far in the show, show some love. Hit that thumbs up icon.